any
At the bottom of the screen
agents.
Oh, I
says
see. I got it. Okay.
present. Yes.
All right. So I probably hit present and then switch over to, okay, I got it.
Hi, travel partners. Let us know where you listening from, where you watching us from. Give us a couple of seconds for us to just prepare. I was speaking to myself. I was muted. I'm sorry.
I thought I was crazy.
Hi, Stephanie from Grass Valley. Where is Grass Valley? Good day, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And my name is Kelly Fontanelle. Today I'm with CELITECH. And you guys know that I'm all about bringing you new suppliers, bringing you anything that will create value for your business, and at the end of the day, have you to make more money for your business as well. So today I'm so excited to introduce you to CELITECH. We have our business development manager for CELITECH, Miss Nadine St. Rose. We go way back from, I just realized we were at FIU almost together, Nadine. Yeah. And Nadine, you
Sorry,
muted.
yes, sorry about that. Yes.
I just realized how way back we go. And then we have Mr. Rich Bratton, who is the co-founder and CEO of CELITECH. And I am not very tech savvy, but I will allow Rich and Nadine to talk to you about CELITECH, what it can do for your business, and how you can incorporate it in your business to provide your clients with more added value, which is always something good for your clients. And at the end of the day, create more revenue as well for your business. So without further ado, Mr. Rich Bratton, I'm going to give you full control of this presentation.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Kelly. Nice to meet everyone. I'm Rich Bratton, as Kelly mentioned. So I'm one of the founders and the chief commercial officer for CELITECH. I've been with the company a couple of years. I've been in and around the online travel space for my entire career, going back to, I probably shouldn't admit to this, but to the mid 90s. Spent some time with America Online, Travel Zoo, Kayak, Fare Portal, which was Cheapo Air and One Travel. So, some experience with OTAs, with the meta search with Kayak, the deals side of Travel Zoo. Born and raised in Las Vegas, which is part of how I stumbled into being in the travel space. And I just really love this industry because I feel like it's always fresh, it's always exciting, it's always innovative. And people love travel. So when you tell somebody that I'm in the travel industry, they light up and want to tell you about all their great experiences and the trips they have planned upcoming. And then that kind of leads into, so my partner Al is an engineer by trade, and he came up with this concept about 10 years ago. He's been in and around the telco space for most of his career. And he kind of identified this challenge that we're getting to the point where being connected is not an option. You need to be connected to connect with your airport transfer, or to scan a menu at a restaurant, as a result of COVID, and kind of doing the contactless. To order an Uber, a lot of the things that we do and we kind of take for granted are all contingent upon, us being connected. And, our whole world is in this device that we hold in our hands. And, we wanted to find a way, how can we help the consumer, stay connected when they travel internationally? Because it's even more daunting when you're in a foreign country and, if you're not connected, it can be a little bit scary at times and frustrating and expensive. So With that, I'll just jump into a presentation. Share screen. Okay, if I can figure out window. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Something's coming up. Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So again, we've created, CELITECH, and the idea is that we want to offer one-click connectivity for global travel. So we're a digital-first company. We're a B2B company, so we don't sell directly to the consumer. We're not competing with our partners like you all would potentially be. What we want to do is we want to empower you to be able to offer this as a new ancillary for revenue purposes, but also for just overall customer experience. So, making sure that user is connected just going to mean that they're going to have a better trip, when they are traveling internationally. So, as we were starting, this is still got Al in here. The challenge is, you land. You're trying to send an email. This was one of the challenges that Al faced. Was he was at NCOD and doing his master's degree, and he needed to send an email out. And the minute he connected, it cost him €100 just to send one email. To get in a black cab in London, if you're not connected, to be able to connect to Uber, it could cost you up to £200 just to get from the airport over to your hotel. So these are some of the, a couple of examples of challenges that the user will face if they aren't connected and able to leverage a lot of the, conveniences that they're used to utilizing when they're at home.
Rich, you have to change slides.
Oh, is it not updating?
No, it's not changing.
Oh, it's changing on my end.
Is it? Can you see it changing, Kelly? But I'm not seeing it changing.
It's not. I haven't seen it.
It's still on the one that says one-click connectivity for global travel.
Okay. Now it's changing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? Maybe I'll just do it like this, because you're able to see the.
We could see the new slide now.
I'm just going to stay with this view then. Or
Okay.
That's not real good, is it? Let me try. So now, do you see me changing slides, or is it just staying on that one slide?
It's on the slide with connectivity options.
Okay, and right now it's still on that slide?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to have to just do this view. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So again, to kind of encapsulate the challenge that we're trying to solve for is, internet, the options available to users currently, physical SIM cards, which we're familiar with. You get to the airport and there's a kiosk and they're going to sell you a physical SIM card, or you can go into an internet cafe, which can sometimes be a little bit intimidating. Installing the physical SIM card isn't easy. It means that when you insert that physical SIM card, you're essentially replacing completely your existing plan. So you'll lose your contacts, your phone number, and everything now is put into that alternative SIM card that you've purchased. There are some of our competitors out there have a B2C model where they're going to direct you to download an app to get an eSIM that way. Typically, those providers are resellers, distributors of eSIM, so they buy in bulk and then they resell, kind of a generic eSIM to the consumer, which can be expensive and the quality might not be there. The user could purchase roaming from their home carrier. So, for instance, I have T-Mobile in the U.S. and they give me what they call free roaming as part of my Magenta plan. The problem is when I get to the foreign country, they're giving, I've either got 2G, maybe 3G, and it's almost impossible just to even send a text message. And then the final option is, to just try and hop from Wi-Fi connection to Wi-Fi connection. So pop into a Starbucks, get a little bit of connectivity and send some emails and do some, texting or posting my Instagram pictures, and then wait till I can get to the next Wi-Fi spot, whether it's at the hotel or if I'm, traveling for work at the conference space. And with the international plans that the local carriers offer, at least for the U.S., it can be $8-10 a day. In Canada, it could be $12 to $15 a day, just to have that connectivity. SIM card. So what is a SIM card? SIM card stands for Subscriber Identity Module. So basically, that little SIM card that we historically have put into our phone is what tells the phone that this is Rich Bratton and my phone number is 702-610-7342, that I'm a T-Mobile subscriber. So that's how I'm identified and what makes my device actually active. What is an eSIM? So an eSIM stands for embedded SIM. So a lot of people think that the E might stand for electronic. It's embedded, so meaning that it's part of the hardware of the phone. So no longer is there a piece of plastic in my phone. I have the iPhone 14. There is no physical SIM card in it. It's only eSIM. So I can have up to 9 eSIMs in my phone at any given time. 2 of those can be active. So when I'm traveling, I've got my home plan, which is active, so I can still receive my voice calls and text messages, but then I've got my eSIM also running simultaneously, which is how I get my data. So I'm running my maps and doing, if I'm browsing social media, if I'm using WhatsApp or FaceTime, that's all going to happen over that embedded SIM, the digital eSIM card. Benefits of eSIM. So again, to reiterate what I just said, you're able to have multiple networks running simultaneously without having to swap out SIM cards. So I've got my home plan where I'm getting my regular phone calls and text messages. If I want to, I could deactivate my home line if I chose to. And then I've got the eSIM with the local plan for the country that I'm visiting running. So I've got that high-speed connectivity where I can utilize that for, using all the things that require internet access that you would typically use on Wi-Fi. So FaceTime, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, maps, scanning QR codes. One of the other benefits of eSIM is that it's data only. So there's no requirement for showing identification. The user, if we were to attach a phone number, a separate phone number to that SIM card, the user would need to show a passport, prove their identity, and it just makes it a much more cumbersome process and probably not worth selling for a travel provider like you all are. And then again, being able to have multiple plans active in the device at the same time just means that you're able to do more and replicate what you're used to having at home, but also have the confidence and the comfort and the convenience of being connected with a local provider. I don't know if anybody on the line is using an eSIM. The first time that you do it, it could be a little bit intimidating, but once you've used an eSIM and you've traveled with it, I'm fairly certain that you'll never want to travel without it again. So this kind of reflects some of the work that has gone into to CELITECH, and a lot of this was done by my partner Al over the last 10 years while he was working in the telco industry. He started building these relationships. We're partnered with 700 networks across the globe. We're in 200 plus countries and in a handful of regions. So we do some bundling. We've got a Caribbean bundle that includes most of the destinations in the Caribbean. So the user doesn't have to get a separate eSIM for St. Lucia and a separate eSIM for Barbados, for instance. And we cover about 99.9% of international traffic across those 200 countries. We are the world's first digital only cellular data platform. So there's no physical SIM. Everything happens electronically. The user gets the SIM into their phone by scanning a QR code and then following about 4 or 5 steps. on in the settings of the phone, and they've now got a local plan for the destination that they're traveling to, and you know, it's great for travelers, but it really could be transformative for travel companies. And the reason we say that is, if you know that your user is connected, that gives you that confidence that you're going to be able to communicate with them in market, and conversely, they'll be able to communicate with you. So if they're looking for additional, you know, tours, attractions, activities, if they want to stay, you know, if they want to extend their trip, you know, they can communicate with you to say, hey, can you look for a hotel for me to stay a couple of extra nights? I'm really having a great time. And them being connected allows that to happen. And again, because we are B2B, we're not particularly interested in the consumer knowing who CELITECH is. We want to make you the superhero and be able to offer that service so that you can, you know, continue to build upon that relationship that you worked so hard to establish with that customer to get them to book the trip, but then, you know, to add additional services and opportunities in, and also, you know, staying top of mind so the next time they're ready to book a trip, they remember, you know, where they booked that trip, how they booked it, and, you know, the great experience that they had when they booked it. You know, so again, you know, it's one click, basically we're in a booking flow. So that's more addressing like an online booking experience with the one click. So we are an API first company. So we can ingest the start date, end date of the trip, the destination. So we custom create each eSIM to each individual travel itinerary. So the user can install their eSIM when they're booking their trip in June for December, and then they wake up in December on the day of their trip and their eSIM is active in their phone. So because it is custom built, and that's one of the key differentiators in what we do, is that we have the patent around that ability to program the QR code, program the eSIM to match that traveler's itinerary. So they know they have the confidence that they've, you know, taken care of, they've checked that box. And again, when they wake up on the day of their trip, it's active and ready to go. We're the only company that hosts and creates our eSIMs in the United States. All of our eSIM credentials are stored with a company called IDEMIA, which is the same company that houses all the TSA data, as well as 90% of the credit card credentials in the United States. And finally, you know, we offer, you know, fast and premium service. So we're going to connect to the fastest tower that we can connect to. You know, in most countries, that means LTE, which is 4G or 5G. We typically don't offer anything less than that. There are some parts of the world that the infrastructure only allows for 3G, and we will, you know, utilize that when that's the best available. But for the most part, we're constantly connecting to, you know, the highest speed internet out there, and we're not throttling. So if the user has access, is in an area where 5G is available, that's what they're going to get. So for the end user, for the traveler, they're typically going to save up to or as much as 80% on the other options that they can get by either adding the plan onto their local carrier or buying a physical SIM card. So they're typically saving 80%, and the seller of the eSIM, which would be like you guys, or, you know, some of our OTA partners or travel partners, airlines, typically make between 50 and 70% margin on the eSIM that they sell, while saving the customer up to 80%. This is just a kind of some sample ideas of what the revenue could look like. We typically see we sell net or wholesale rates and allow our partners to mark it up as they see appropriate. But usually it backs into around $7 per eSIM sold. And then this is just, you know, some sample models of what that, you know, could look like revenue wise based on the number of daily bookings that someone might be selling. This is, you know, kind of a couple of examples of how you might be able to bundle the service in an online environment. So, adding it as a bundle or as a service, for a hotel, they might want to include it as part of their resort fee. I could see, speaking specifically to you all as travel agents, if you're booking some big packages, it may be something that you just want to include as part of their package. In a lot of the world, the cost for an eSIM is pretty nominal, and it would make a lot of sense for you to be able to offer that as part of an international travel package. And then this is an example of what it could look like in the booking flow on in an online booking environment. Again, we offer the ability to brand the network as well as the QR code. So for each of you out there, the QR code could reflect your brand here. So as obviously where it says your brand, it could be your logo, it could be your name, and then that also would be what the user would see on their device. So while they're on their trip, every time they look at their phone, your brand would be the first thing that they see on their device. When the phone is on its lock screen, the eSIM is what's going to show up here in the top left of their screen. And on average, people check their phones between 350 and 400 times a day. So that's that many times that user is going to see your brand on their phone and remind them, where they booked this, amazing trip that they're on. And if they want to, add some additional services, you're right there top of mind to take advantage of that. This is just kind of some numbers around, what the current market looks like. We're actually already in 2023, we're a little over 1.5 billion devices are eSIM enabled. The predictions are that it's going to be, more than double that by 2025. And that's accelerating thanks to Apple, eliminating the physical SIM card. So they're kind of helping force that, the acceleration of that education process. So, I think we'll probably be at that number sooner than 2025, but that's what the experts are saying currently. You all, I'm sure, are well aware that international travel is back in a big way. I think it's beating, what the forecasts were as we came out of COVID. I think that, we're seeing that pent up demand for international travel or just travel in general. And, we're reaping the benefits of that because, those international travelers want to be connected, and we're helping them do that. And then, another trend that I'm sure everyone here is well aware of is that, mobile is where people are doing their travel shopping. They may not be doing their booking online. And I know with a lot of you've got brick and mortar customers, but, a lot of the research is being done, on that mobile device. It's forecast that the global eSIM market's going to be, 26 billion by 2028. It's not a trend that's going to go away. It's just going to get bigger and bigger. And I think that, one of the things that we're seeing even over the course of the last 3 to 4 months is that the consumer is starting to know what an eSIM is. And they're starting to discriminate based on the quality of the eSIM. So they're starting to understand what the options are, what they expect, what they want. And they're not going to settle for, a substandard, connectivity option. They're going to want to make sure that they've got premium connectivity. But that trend is going to continue to grow, in the coming months and years. This is, with Gen Z, they don't know a world without the internet. So for them, connectivity is non-negotiable. So, this generation that's coming up, that's just starting to, kind of take over, the consumer share. They're again, they don't know what the world is like to not be connected. So for them, it's as mandatory as wearing a pair of shoes. They're going to make sure that they're connected, because that's how they interact with their friends and family. That's how they do all their research. So for them, it's paramount to be connected. And again, 24/7 connection since birth. And if any of you have kids in that in that generation, like they don't just have one device. They typically have 3 devices going at any given time. It drives me crazy, but that's the way it is. And this is a stat that I find kind of interesting, that the Gen Z, they want experiences. So they're not looking for just a weekend getaway, 3-hour drive. They're looking to go see the world, and that may be on a budget. They may be going and staying in hostels in Europe or backpacking, but they want to go have big experiences. So a good majority of their travel ends up being international, which again lends itself to needing that connectivity option to stay connected while they're doing so. Gen Z, again, informed, they're price sensitive, they want that personalization, and they're all about the experiences. This is just a small snapshot of some of the companies that we work with. You can see there's a lot of the big OTAs. We've added a few since putting this out. We power, our eSIM is now powered in thousands of bookings per day. So we have a lot of big data around that. And if you at the end of this, or as a follow-up, if you have any questions about what does a typical eSIM consumer look like, we can help you out with that. Just a couple of tooting our horn type quotes. This comes from the Expedia group, from their loyalty team. So with Expedia, they're choosing not to sell it as a new ancillary revenue stream, but rather to include it in their loyalty programs, just to keep that loyal customer, make their loyalty offering a little bit more robust, differentiate it from some of their competition. Kayak, they really love our offering, so they've integrated us into their business product, into their .com, and expanding it into their international locales. We've won several awards. I think the Mobile Breakthrough Award is one that we're extremely proud about. We won Innovator of the Year at Focusrite. So we're doing good things. And at the end of this call, or as a follow-up, I think you'll all have access to this presentation. So just send me an email, mention TASC, and be happy to give you an eSIM to test out. Whether that be at home, if you're traveling abroad, if you've got somebody in your office that's going to be traveling, we appreciate, the feedback, and having people out there testing it and giving us feedback. And also just want to show you, the value and the power of the product that we offer. And then that's the presentation.
That was so interesting. And I just was thinking so many ways you could use the eSIM as a business person. That you don't want to use public Wi-Fi because you have, as a travel agent, because you have your client sensitive information and you don't want to use public Wi-Fi. I mean, that is it right there for you, the eSIMs. As a travel agent, you want to add added value for your client. You could either gift them like $20, eSIMs, and they could purchase more and you can make money from that. But what I like is the branding. As Rich said, you look at your phone 400 to 500 times a day. I'm gonna check that out to see. Because when I think about it, I'm like, damn, I probably do. But imagine your client is traveling, and every time they look at the phone, they see your brand. It's like, okay, Diana put me on this fantastic trip, and also she gave me service throughout, where I am, because most of the times you have Wi-Fi at the hotel, at the restaurant, but when you go on tours and stuff, you have no service. So this is really interesting, and I like that, Kayak is using it, Expedia is using it, and we're bringing it to you, a travel advisor, so you have the same technology that the big corporations already have, which gives, which really make your business, put it there on tier with the other big companies. So this was really, really interesting.
Kelly, if I could add something that one of our testers told us. Of course, I'm based in the Caribbean, working in the Caribbean, and we had some folks testing it outbound from the Caribbean to the US, and they went to some conferences, and they were so happy to have the CELITECH eSIM, because when you're in a conference and thousands of people are trying to use the Wi-Fi, it's very
Yeah.
slow. So they were happy that they had free access to that. So, because some of them have told us they pay thousands of dollars in roaming charges.
Yeah. I
I've
mean,
tested.
I have AT&T. I pay $10 a day, and if I'm out for like 10 days, but with eSIMs, I could buy a bundle for $25 and I mean, I could save so much. So,
Exactly.
I mean, Stephanie wants to sign up. Okay. I think yeah, it's really I think it's phenomenal, and I think this is the way for travel advisors to get in, because this is going to grow. It's going to get much bigger than it is right now, and then you have the opportunity to get into it at the beginning, at the beginning stage. And but what I like is the branding part of it, which is something more added value for you and for your company. Just the branding part of it, and two ways you could do it. As I said, you could gift it to your clients, as you could give them $10 data when they travel, or you could sell it, and then you can make money out of it as well.
It's definitely another source of revenue for travel
It's
advisors.
definitely another a source of revenue for you, and added value for your company as well, to provide data service. Because I was not speaking to Nadine when we were in Barbados. She was said somebody was in Peru on the
On Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu, and she was able to use her data over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was doing WhatsApp calls from there so people could see that she was using it.
she
She's
was.
actually in the travel business as well. And so she was able to share it with her customers to see how well it works.
And I have to admit that, if somebody told me they wanted to test my eSIM on Machu Picchu, I'd probably be a little bit nervous. But I was so excited to hear that. I think that's a pretty amazing. I kind of want to accumulate stories like that.
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
are getting connectivity where they don't necessarily expect to have it.
Yeah.
But you make a great point, Kelly, which is that for everybody here on the line, they could, as part of a package, give away a small eSIM package, and then allow the user, if they want to purchase more, or they run out of their data, they can add more to their eSIM, and then they can monetize it that way. So they can get the customer experience and the good customer experience of giving something as part of the package, but then also potentially making money at the same time by upselling into a bigger package.
Right.
Yeah.
When I still think of the fam trips, the travel advisors fam
Yes.
trips that we host throughout the Caribbean, they don't have to worry about getting to a hotel and checking WhatsApps or emails.
Yeah.
Of course, you want them to be experiencing the destination, but then they could instantly share, the
Exactly.
photographs and so
Yeah.
forth.
And I love the branding that when you send your clients on the trip, and every time they put the phone on, they see your company. I mean, some agents may want that, some agents may say, like, I don't want them bothering me, but you just see your branding there, and this is just a reminder that they could share a little. My agent was the one who gave me data that I was able to use, in the cave or wherever they are. But I also like, as travel agents, you could use that, because when we travel, we work, and we also look for use the hotel, or use Wi-Fi in the lobby. But I think this is more what's the word, secured, than using a lot of public Wi-Fi all over the place, and putting your clients' information out there for other people to see. But this is a lot more secured for you as a company as well. So I learned so much from the presentation, and I'm glad I was listening attentively. But I think this is really a good way for travel advisors to really upsell themselves, um, added value, and put your, do like what the big boys are doing. I mean, Expedia is already
Loyalty,
doing it.
loyalty
Kayak
points.
is doing it. Yeah, loyalty. I really like that. So some people want to sign up. Some people want to test it. So I think Rich had put his email there. Let me put
Yep,
his
I'll write it here in the
write it
chat.
in the chat. So just send hi Maggie. You could watch on the replay, Maggie, and for those who came in late, you could watch on the replay. But you could contact Rich directly for the testing. When I was in Dominica, I wasn't able to test, but I wish I did test it while I was there. That would have been fantastic. But you could send Rich an email if you want to test one of the eSIMs. You could either test it for yourself or give it to a client to test for you while they're out there, and then come back and make it a business for yourself. Yes, the presentation is recorded, and I will share it for all of those who were a bit late. So yes, you could watch on the replay. So do we have any other questions apart from those who want to sign up and those who are interested? Again, Rich's email is rich, RICH, at CELITECH, CELITECH.com. So just send him an email and let him know that you are interested in testing and eventually signing up to, to sell or to gift to your client. Yes, it works in Europe and Poland. You have European plans as well?
That's
Yes.
correct. And so we have, I mentioned briefly in the presentation that we have bundles. So in areas of the world where we feel like, a user might have a propensity to go across several countries, we've created some bundles. So Europe is one of those. We've got 37 countries in our European bundle. We've got 13 countries in our Asia bundle, Caribbean with 14, Latin America with 14. And then we've got a global plan that I don't love the name of it, but it's Europe, United States, Australia, and New Zealand. But so yeah, we've got some bundles, but Europe, definitely Europe and Poland are part of what we offer.
And then they could buy individual countries as well, individual countries and individual islands. Yeah.
Correct.
And it works especially for cruise passengers that go to multiple destinations.
Yes.
Yeah. So they can buy one that goes on the route, and they have access to data from all the different ports of call that they go to.
Yep.
So it will work on the cruise ship as well?
No, it won't work on the cruise ship. So on the cruise ship, they would have their Wi-Fi, but when they when they go to shore, then they would work.
So Maggie, take Rich's email address, RICH at CELITECH.com, and he will send you the info to test it.
Yep.
Okay. Is there something similar to a family plan?
So with a family, you could do it two ways. So you could have one person use an eSIM, and then they can create a hotspot, so they could give access to their family members to all leverage that same connection, or they could buy multiple plans for the different users. So we have a lot of our when we're selling online with some of our online travel partners. The average number of eSIMs per purchase is like a little over 2. So it kind of mirrors what you would expect in a typical online travel booking. So, husband and wife, nobody, once they know that this is an option, they don't want to be the one that doesn't have the connection. We see some families that are buying 4 of them because I'm sure the kids are on the iPads, and the parents want to make sure the kids are connected. But we don't have a family plan per se where it includes X amount, but the user can self-select into buying 3 plans or whatever the appropriate number is. I hope that answers the question.
Okay, I'm going to ask a stupid question. Can you also add it to your your tablet, like an iPad, or not? Can you?
Yep. As long as it's eSIM enabled, and most of the devices being manufactured now are eSIM enabled. So definitely, tablets, phones, obviously, but soon watches will be eSIM, laptops. So think of it; it's probably going to be as ubiquitous as Bluetooth. Every device that has Bluetooth is going to have an eSIM because it doesn't take. There's no physical space. So they just, it's just part of the standard hardware of the device. So in theory, pretty much every electronic device will be eSIM enabled. If it's not now, it will be.
Okay. So Cheryl said she's interested in behalf of my clients, but we'll have to rewatch. Okay, no problem. Yeah, rewatch it, but it's definitely something that you could gift or sell to your clients. Gift to your clients and sell as a business as well. And I like the branding part of it. So your brand will go out there as well. So again, if you are interested in doing the testing, take down Rich's email address and send him an email. Let him know you want to test it, and give him all the details, and we go from there. And when it comes to setting up, we will do that for you as well. I think we answered all the questions.
Rich, do you want to talk about how easy it is to set it up? I was actually going to mention of that. For those with whether it's API or giving access to a landing page.
Sure. Yeah. With the if you all have like an online booking experience, then we would do. We have the option of doing an API connection where you pass to us the start date, the end date, and the destination. And then we return a custom QR code that has those travel parameters embedded in it. And then the user, it can be in a confirmation email or on the confirmation screen. The user gets the QR code, scans it, and the eSIM goes into their phone, awaiting the departure date, and it's there. For kind of a lighter weight option, we can do a custom landing page where we just kind of get your logo and your branding, and then there's just a booking widget, that's where the user would pull down their start date, their end date, the destination they're going to, put in their email and their credit card, and then they just get a QR code in their email. So that's the landing page. Really, the turnaround time on that is probably 48 hours maximum. The API integration is more about what you might have in terms of your resources that do your web development. So that, but standard on the API integration is usually about 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess another point along that line. So we don't require any upfront costs for integration. It's a 1-page agreement. We offer some volume discounts. There's no maintenance fees, no upfront fees. So it's really very, very low risk to start and start to see, test it and see how your customers take to it. I think in a situation where you've got a one-to-one relationship, like I'm sure a lot of you do with your customers, I would imagine that the conversion rate could be 20 to 30%. In an online environment, when we're in the booking flow, our conversion rate is usually between 7 and 10%.
So this is fantastic. No upfront cost for you, but at the end of the day, you will be making some money out of that. So it's a win-win situation for us all.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So for those who came late, I will pin this presentation and puts a little bit of description on it so you know what you're watching. But however, this was CELITECH talking to us about eSIMs and how you could use eSIMs in your business, either to gift your clients data when they travel or sell it to them as well. And at the end of the day, the eSIM is branded with your company, and if you sell it, you could make money out of it. As Rich said, there is no upfront cost for you. but you can make money out of it. So it could be a revenue generator for your company and provide you branding and also make you look like a rock star. The eSIMs has already been used by Expedia and Kayak and all the big OTAs. So this is a perfect time for you as a small agency to get on board and have this service that the big companies are already providing to their clients to set yourself apart and provide added value to your clients, and also again to provide revenue for your business. So it's a win-win situation, and I think it is just a fantastic idea. I have AT&T. When I travel, I do the $10 a day wherever, when I travel out of the country, and I could save so much, when you buy a bundle for your data. So, I mean, I see no reason for us all not to be using this program.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Great points, Kelly. And anybody that has customers in Canada, they're paying $12 to $15 a day. So yeah, the Canadians love us.
And I just came from Canada. I can imagine my phone bill one next couple of weeks. So
Oh, you should have told us, Kelly. You should have told us.
Yeah, I should have told. Yeah, but I'm gonna get my from now on. Whenever I'm traveling, a couple of days before, I'm gonna let you know so I could get my bundle, because this is definitely a way to save money and also for agencies to generate income for your company. But it's a nice marketing tool. Your package. Thank you for your service, and with that, I'm going to give you $10 of data, and you can always upsell. It's a nice added value, because agents are always asking for something to give to the client as a thank you for using the services, and this is perfect. I can gift you data.
Yeah.
I can give you data that you can secure data that you could use anywhere in the world. So
Yep.
Yep.
It works perfectly. I'm using it now in the US with a St. Lucia phone, and I've used it in the BVI, St. Lucia, Barbados, Antigua. So it's been working. I've not had a problem, and I've not felt like oh my God, I need to get to Wi-Fi to check WhatsApp.
I know
And
I need to put my phone off because I know my bill has already passed, my budget.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
I used it. I was in Barcelona 2 weeks ago for a conference, and I did a hot air balloon ride, and I had connection at the height of the hot air balloon ride. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So travel partners, this is the game changer. And again, I always like to bring you guys innovative ways to generate more income or to make your company look like the rock star that it is. So let's sign up. So if we have no more questions, we're gonna let Rich and Nadine go on to the rest of the day. But I'm here to assist. If you have any questions, please just send me a note, and I'll be happy to answer to assist. Any last word, Nadine or Rich?
Rich, I'll let you go.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for their time and the questions and the interest and excitement. Please don't hesitate to reach out, because for us, it's helpful to have folks like yourselves that are, testing the product. I can't be everywhere testing it. So, happy to, give you eSIMs, whether it be for yourself or for, a couple of your VIP customers, so that you can, get that feedback and see how it works. But I appreciate everyone's time.
Maggie, yes, this could be given and sold to everyone in the world. Yes, your clients, wherever they are, it could be sold to. And again, it's a QR code. It's not like a physical thing that you have to mail to them. It's just, it can be emailed to them, set it up with a QR code, and boom, they off to use the data.
Yep.
Yeah. So Kelly, thank you so much for your support as always. And I can attest, I know we're talking to travel agents selling the Caribbean. I can attest that it works perfectly down there.
Yeah, yes, definitely. And again, Rich's email is rich@CELITECH, CELITECH.com. Please send him an email, let him know that you are interested in signing up. Okay, signing up or getting a test to see for you or for your clients to see how it works. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.